Hi, this is Dr. Kimberley Linert, and you're listening to Incredible Life Creator. My guest today is Eeedith. Eeedith is a 26-year-old model, blogger, writer, yoga instructor, entrepreneur. She's going to produce, launching a product line in 2019 that she'll talk about later. And she is all around creative person. Thank you, Eeedith, for being with us today.
Thank you, Kimberly, for having me. It's an honor to be here today.
Yes, and I was looking at your social media, and you're just all over the place. And one of the things when I was looking at your website on modeling, one of the things that you encourage young women to do is to know who they are at their core, what is their essence. So tell me, what is your essence? Who are you, Eeedith?
That's a journey I am on. It's that self-discovery journey, and every day I learn more and more about myself, and I always just throw myself into these situations or seminars or learning experiences where I get to discover more of myself. And ultimately right now I've reached the conclusion of just love, that love energy, and I have an overflow of love to give, and that's what really resonates with me right now.
Oh, that's amazing. And you're 26-year-old, and I just listed several things that you're already doing. How did you begin, and how did you get to where you are now?
Yeah, so modeling started off as a hobby. I started at 16 just doing local model shows in my city, and then I started with a modeling development agency, and they developed my skills from posing to walking. I was investing in myself. I paid a lot for this, and it just progressed from there. I did a beauty pageant. I met a promotional modeling agency. I started doing that with them, and I was progressing up until my early 20s. It was going well, but then I had a bad experience in my life. I entered in an abusive relationship, and my partner did not want me to pursue modeling, or my partner was controlling in that fact. So I stopped. After around 3 years of that dark time in my life, I decided, you know what, like, I want to be happy. I want to live my life. I want to make decisions for myself. I have the strength. So I left my ex. At the time I was in at Cal State Long Beach getting my undergrad in political science. And I left my ex. I finished my political science degree. I dedicated myself to discovering. That's when the discovering who I am started, and where I threw myself into yoga and nutrition and self-love and self-care. And that's what helped me recover from that relationship and helped me grow as a person. So I left, I graduated, and right there I was like, okay, I can continue with this career path, or I can take a chance on myself. I can take a risk and create and do the modeling and do all of this creation that comes to me. If I'm going to take the risk, now's the time. I won't have it in the future. Like, now's the time. I'm in my 20s. Now's the time to take that risk and see what happens. My degree will always be there. So after graduating, I decided, okay, I'm going to model. I returned to modeling. Within a year, I got signed with an agency. I had paid jobs, and my skills were so much better than they were when I was starting out, mainly because I did all that soul searching within. So now when I'm in front of the camera and the camera is capturing me, it captures that spark. And that's why the workshops, I do the model workshops, are why I teach young women who want to be in modeling to look within and that inner power and who they are, because I realized with myself, that's what sets me apart from everyone when I go to the auditions and castings.
Yeah. And you can see that. I just met you maybe 2-3 weeks ago at an event. And what I noticed about you is your bubbly personality, just happy, overflowing, bubbly personality. And that's attractive. That attracts people to you. So, and I'm sure behind the camera, you see that also.
Yeah, the camera can capture it. It captures your essence. It captures what you're feeling, your emotion. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it feels like it is. So I want to ask you kind of a more serious question. There are other people in your situation where they were in an abusive relationship, or they are in an abusive relationship right now. And I know you started doing a lot of work, but was there a moment when you made a decision, and how did you come to that? If you could help someone who's in that situation right now, how would they change their mindset? How would they get out of that situation? Because sometimes you feel like you're trying to stop.
Yes. Because I remember being there and my friends, my family, everyone telling me, this person's not good for you. What you're going through is not good. Look at you. You were losing so much weight. You're so depressed. You're anxious. Look at your life. And when you're in it, you don't want to hear any of that. You're like, okay, whatever. Stop lecturing me. Stop lecturing me. Stop lecturing me. And you're just so in it. I would say the darkest, rock bottom, deepest point of my life, in that place, that's where I was open to receiving help. So once I was there, I wasn't anorexic, but I did lose a lot of weight to where it was kind of anorexia. I just had a lot of anxiety, and that anxiety caused me to lose so much weight. I was 98 pounds. I was down to my bones. And my mom showed me a photo of this personal trainer that's her friend, and was like, oh, look at her before and after. She used to be thin, and now she's fit. Look, I can have her train with you. So I'm saying the story because that was the moment where it clicked in my brain, and I saw it and I was super excited. And I went to my ex and I was like, look, I can train with her. And my ex goes, you don't want to do that. That's so masculine. That's so ugly. Why do you want that? And in my mind, it clicked. I had a self-awareness, self-realization. Wow, I am so deep in this hole that I'm not making decisions for my own life.
Yeah.
So my ex is the one that showed me that, but I had to be open and realize what was going on. Before that, I had no awareness that was going on. And I was like, wow, and you don't care about my well-being. This is something I want to do for my well-being, and you're saying no. And what gives you the right to say no? Like all these breakthroughs came in my mind. And so what helped me a lot was my mom showed me a lot of love. In the beginning, she was telling me, don't be with your ex. It's not a good partner for you. And that caused a lot of friction, a lot of fighting. And then she stopped and she started approaching it a different way, just loving me unconditionally and being there for me. And when I realized, wow, my mom really is there for me. She's showing me this unconditional love. I can leave my ex and I have that support there.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyone, if you have a friend, a sister, a mom, a loved one in that situation, the best thing you can do is show them love and show them support and show them that no matter what, even if I disagree with your decisions, I am here for you. And when you are ready, because you have to give them that space, when you are mentally ready and when you are there, I will be here to support you. That
is awesome. And I'm so glad, because look what the result is of all this creativity coming out.
Yes.
Leaving that situation. So that's just amazing. And so as your life shifted, what things did you use to start to shift that? You said your mom's encouragement. Was there any other things that you did to help kind of shift yourself from that situation? Because you usually just don't jump out and start expanding. You expand little by little, right? So were there tools? Were there, you mentioned on your blog?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The biggest tool was nutrition and fitness for me. I got into weightlifting and just having a regime where I did something for myself every day. And because at that time I had no self-value, I saw myself and I was ashamed of who I was and who I had become. So instead of focusing on that, I was like, okay, you're here. What can we do now? I did start training with my mom's trainer that she showed me the photo. And every day I had a commitment to my trainer, no matter what happened throughout the day, no matter how I felt, every day I was there. It was a workout. It was a certain food. And I started learning about nutrition, and that's where it started. And then I incorporated yoga into it. And once a week I did a yoga practice. I started off with Kundalini yoga. That one has more chants, more mantras. It's more of a meditation.
Okay.
As opposed to like a asana yoga where it's more posture. And that helped a lot clear thoughts. I remember I would cry in these yoga meditations. I would just start crying and releasing and let everything go that I was holding on. There was a lot of guilt, a lot of regret, a lot of why did I do this to myself, and self-blame. And it's normal. If you're in a situation and you have that, it's normal. It's the human experience. It's about finding whatever works for you and using that tool to heal and get better. And so Kundalini yoga training, what helped with training was my power. I felt this power again, like, because I had been stripped away from my power, and I had that solar plex chakra power, confidence. Building that. And then I started a gratitude journal. I still have one. I do 10 things I'm grateful for every day. And that really just helps you focus on the positive. Like no matter what happens throughout the day, like something didn't go the way you wanted, a gratitude journal just helps you reflect and see, and not spend so much time focusing on that, and just see, well, at least I had the opportunity to whatever, A, B, C. And then I got into affirmations. I started saying affirmations to myself in front of the mirror. I was like, you are worthy. You are abundant. You are rooted. So serious every morning in front of the mirror with my affirmations.
I've done that, and it does feel a little silly, but it works really well. It really it works. So
it does.
Feel silly and do it.
Feel silly and do it.
Yes, do it anyway. So
look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful and you've got this and you rock and you
So you shared in your blog where you actually started working with Nayurka. Your mom had invited you to an event with Nayurka. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. So I had worked on myself, right? I'm in this place of, okay, I have self-worth again, I have value, but I was stuck. It was right before I made that jump into taking the risk into, okay, I'm going to focus on my creativity. I was still, okay, should I go to law school? Should I model? Should I go to law school? Should I model? Like I was just in that big debate, and it was analysis paralysis. That's where I was. And my mom noticed that, and she found Nuka, bought a ticket to her event, and one-day event, and then Nuka gifted her a ticket to SIA. So my mom had her ticket, and then plus the gifted ticket, and she said, "Hey, Eeedith, come do this with me." I had no idea. I had no idea where I was going, what I was getting into. I was like, "Oh, Palm Springs Hotel, there's a pool. count me in. I'm going to be in that pool.
You had no idea what you're going for.
I had no idea. And so we go, and it was just a profound, life-changing experience. Nuka gives you these tools to just face life head on and step into your power and step into your greatness. She's this incredible human being.
Oh yeah,
I'm
so
just
now
like
more power.
lost at words.
So first you had your physical power. Now you're getting even more power with Nuka.
Yes, she
Wow.
helped me have clarity in what direction to take with my life, to take that risk, to do modeling. And she helped me deal with self-worth in a sense where my voice matters and my story matters, and I can share it and inspire and help other people, and I can create something beautiful. And then she helped me with my relationship around finances, to where before it was a very scarcity mindset. And now it's, you know what, as long as I'm creating with authenticity, love, purpose, it will come to me. So
yeah, you are creating in so many areas. So you're doing the modeling, and you have, I think it's a course for people who want to be models that emphasizes first knowing who you are so that you can be that bright spark in front of the camera. And but you're doing some other things too. So let's see. I have a list of you. So for you.
All these wonderful projects.
What about this new launch? Tell us about that, because I didn't even say what it was at the beginning. It's a secret. So
yes. So during my recovery, I really got into vegan products, plant-based stuff that helps the environment and non-toxins for your skin. And I started making my own toothpaste, toothbrush, hair shampoo, lotions, this, that, just all of just I started making my own. That's how I learned. And now I decided to make a product line, and my main focus is yoni steaming. So the yoni is our woman goddess temple down. Yeah. So yoni steaming helps with discomfort, smell, itch, UTIs, yeast infections. There are these herbs that you boil in water, and then the hot water you sit underneath it and let it rise up, the steam rise up, and it goes up and it clears your uterus. It's an alternative, a holistic alternative medicine. So seek your doctor if you have something severe. If not, and you want to try a holistic alternative route, you can use yoni steaming. So I make them. It's all plant-based. I add roses, chamomile, lavender. Each ingredient deals with a different purpose. I learned what all of these plants do and their healing purposes and qualities. And yeah, I've branded it. The photo shoots this month in August. This is a very busy, fun month for me. I'm gonna get that set up. I soft launch in October of 2019. That's the goal. Set up the website. It's just online sales right now, and it's all done from my house. But hey, wonderful. Amazon started in the garage.
That's right. That's right. And you did send me the website, so I will post all that at the bottom. So if people want to know more details about that and how it works and everything, they can look that up.
Thank you.
And then tell me about writing. So when I met you, you were writing a movie script.
Yes. I was editing yesterday, so I was living in that world with my characters yesterday. I am writing a movie script. I couldn't decide if I wanted to make it a book or a movie screen. And then I was like, you know what? A movie would be cool. getting it made and being on set and being a part of the creative process really will fulfill me. So let's make it into a movie format. I'm writing a story about, how to explain it. It's like Pursuit of Happiness mixed with Slumdog Millionaire, mixed with Pretty Woman, and then add spiritual and subconscious aspects in there, all mixed, told through a female's perspective.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know how else to explain it at this moment.
I'll just have to see it.
Yes, because you have our main character who is a woman, and she is immigrant from Mexico. She comes into the United States, and we see her story, how she goes from rags to riches. But throughout that story, you have aspects of the subconscious mind sprinkled in there, and those scenes are just, or you can think about it as past lives or genealogy, and it's scenes of her ancestors and how her behavior now is affected by the ancestors and their belief system. So those scenes are sprinkled in there as flashbacks. And then our main character, the pretty woman aspect, is that she is a very beautiful woman in a world that is patriarchy, and that she's reduced to her looks. She's reduced to, oh, well, you're pretty, so you can do this and this, instead of, wow, you have a brain, you are more than just a woman. You are this being. So that's how those sprinkles go in there. And then we see her story, her arc, how she discovers who she is and that light within her and what she can bring and the value she can bring to the world, and how it's very woman empowering.
I have chills just thinking about it. That is amazing. That is so amazing. So what inspired you to write this? Is your family from Mexico?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm descendant from Mexico. A lot of the characters are influenced by people in my life and stories in my life and stories about my own family history and my own ancestors. Influenced. My imagination went, it just decided to take me places and get lost in the story. But yeah, so like my mom is a huge figure in my life and a huge part of who I am today and why I am the person I am. And my main character has a lot of influences from my mom and her personal story. And then I have other characters that I've met, just like certain archetypes and characters that I've written in there, and I've used their qualities and way of being and way of viewing life. And that is our main character, but we do have side stories with our supporting characters, and we get to see the difference in mentalities and different perspectives, and how the facts are the facts, but two minds look at the fact, and just because they see it in a different way, it can mean something totally different, because we as humans give situations meaning. And something like water may mean fresh to me, and it may mean cold, hot to someone else. I don't know.
Yeah, different meanings for different things. So as you're writing this and you're developing these characters, their different personalities and how they look at the world, has it changed your perspective of how you look at the world day by day as you're writing it? Does it give you new realizations about yourself?
Yes. Yes. The short answer, yes. It's been easier. It helps with compassion. So it's easier for me to step into someone else's shoes and someone else's point of view. It's easier for me to understand, even though I disagree with how how others may view the world. And then it helps me reflect, because since I am taking it so back, ancestry, like why human behavior, why people behave the way they do. And if you take it back in history and human ancestry, and since I'm doing that with my movie, I get to see someone and meet someone, and like I view their decisions more clearly, or their way of being. And I get to see like, wow, this action is an outcome of just ancestries of that's the way they were taught. So that compassion and that realization and being able to see that, I've been able to step into that. And it's made me a lot more patient.
Okay.
It's made me a lot more patient. I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, we all would like to have more of that.
Yeah, more compassionate and patient.
Amazing. Yes. Yes. And as you step into these different characters, which sounds like a lot of fun to me as you're doing that, because you have to actually step in to describe them, to react like them. You know, you're in your 20s. Has it helped you understand, you know, people older than you, or people? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that idea, you just brought it into my awareness. I am in my 20s, and I still have so much more to live and experience. Wow. Wow. The Nuka events have really helped me, because I find myself being the youngest person in the room most of the time, and listening to everybody's breakthroughs and everybody's experiences, and seeing the age differences. We have people in their 50s, people in their 30s, people in their 40s, and just seeing what they see and go through. And I also like to talk to a lot of people in different age groups. And when I talk to people, I tend to be the person who wants to know your life story. Like, I'm just like, hi, how are you? I'm Edith. What's your name? Okay, tell me everything. Just everything that wanders in your brain. I like to pick at people's brains. And now I realize I might do that subconsciously, because I'm searching for characters.
Maybe you are. Maybe you're searching for characters.
And I'm like, I'm living through someone else's experience and story and writing. It's really interesting, because some of the things these characters do, I've never lived. Like, let's see, what was I writing that I've never been a 40-year-old woman who was married at 16 and is a conservative and religious. Like, I've never had that mindset. But yet I am able to write as if that was me. And for the moment where I am writing that character, I become that character. Like, I feel that I'm just in the flow, and I'm with source, and I'm pulling from source and flow to where I am able to write and speak as if I was living that life. Yeah, that's...
What an amazing opportunity to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I'm only 26.
Yeah. So totally amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to I'll have editors look through it and help.
I believe it's going to come out just the way it's supposed to, perfectly.
Thank you.
From whatever downloads you're getting.
Yeah, downloads. They are downloads, because I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Like, just come, and
you're doing it. And you're doing it. So amazing. So exciting. So I'm so excited to see what comes from this, and from the way you are glowing and the way you look right now. I believe that we'll see many movie scripts coming from you.
Oh, thank you, Kimberly.
Just tell you're in the zone.
Let's work on this one first.
Yes, yes. But this is very exciting. So
Yes.
just keep us up to date on that, and we'll be looking to see that come out and come to fruition.
Yes.
So tell me about a little bit more about your family. You said, did you grow up here or?
Mm-hmm. So I was born here in the States. It's me, my little sister, and my mom. My mom came from Mexico. I grew up with a strong, hardworking single mother. I put me through school and give us love, feed us. Like, she's just my hero. Like, my mom at this stage in my life is my hero, my best friend, my go-to person, my backbone, my support. And we have a very beautiful relationship where we trust each other. We speak, communicate open-heartedly, and just are honest with one another. And that is a beautiful gift, because it's a build to get there, and that is beautiful.
Yes, yes. So how important is it to actually speak, and when you have something on your mind, to actually open your mouth and say it? Because you said you had an open relationship. How do you develop something like that? Is it something you work at, or is it something that just came naturally for you?
I worked on it. Nuka helped. I used to communicate like a 2-year-old. I would bottle it in, hold it all in, and then explode in a tantrum.
Oh.
In the past. In the past. Yes. I had all this creative energy in me bottled up, and then explosion in the past. And after doing SIA with Nuka, I learned how to communicate, how to be able to express my emotions and understand that just because I'm feeling a certain way and I'm expressing an emotion and I'm speaking about it, it doesn't mean that's what it is. It just means that you are speaking about it and letting it come up and rise and acknowledging it and then moving forward. I did not have that concept at all in the past. Nuka helped me communicate. My mom is a woman with a lot of patience.
Yes.
Who dealt with the tantrums.
Great. And I never would have guessed that of you.
Right. Now I can communicate.
And you seem so happy all the time, and that's wonderful. So just speaking from your heart, it's always important for us to open our mouths and just speak and be open with the people around us, because otherwise they don't know what you're thinking. And I know I have been working on that myself, where it's like, okay, I have to open up my mouth and say something.
And say something, and say something. And then before you say something, where's this something coming from? The heart. Okay.
Yes, from your heart. Yes. So I found your name is Eeedith, but on your website you have 3 E's in front of for Eeedith.
Yes.
And on the end, love, you have 2 E's.
Yes, Eeedith Love, and then with 3 E's in the front and 2 E's in the back.
So love is very important to you.
Yes.
How did that name come about?
It's a high school nickname. In high school, I got the Heart of Gold Award, and I was always I've always had a lot of, again, loving energy and love to give. Since I was a little girl. I just overly affectionate, hugs and like kisses and love and giving attention and that's just natural to me. That's my natural way of being. So in high school teacher was like, "Oh, Eeedith, you're so lovely, always giving love, the lovely Eeedith." And people just started calling me Love. And I was like, okay, I'm Eeedith Love now. And then I remember I was just sitting in a class doodling instead of doing the work. I think it was chemistry. And I just started doodling, and I wrote out 3 E's and then Eeedith, and then I wrote out love with 2 E's. And it just stuck. It became my social media handles.
Uh-huh.
And when it was time to get my website, I was like, well, what? Okay, what do I name my website? And I was like, okay, I'm just going to stick with my nickname, and all my social media and my website and everything is just Eeedith Love and spelled that way.
Uh-huh.
I used a high school nickname for my branding.
And it works. And it works.
Yeah.
Really, really well. So.
I love identity.
So at this point in your life today, what gives you the most fulfillment? What gives you the most happiness?
Such a beautiful question. Creating, just right now, the creation is my movie, the model workshops, this yoga, the product line. But just the creative aspects behind all of that makes me so happy. Just, it's like this photo shoot coming up in August. I ordered all the outfits. I got my models, my photographer, my studio. And just the fact that I was able to, out of nothing, out of thin air, just put that together. And then I had the budget and sticking to the budget. Like, I don't know why. That makes me so happy. Numbers and budgets and organizing and agendas. I just showed my agenda on the camera. And that makes me so happy, being able to do that and then throwing in the creation, because that to me is like I'm creating something out of nowhere that brings me so much joy. And I've realized at this point in my life that it's not just any creation, it's creation that comes from my soul, creation that just feels right. Like it's authentic. I'm not doing it to impress anyone or for validation or anything like that. I'm doing it because I want to, because it's fulfilling. I mean,
Yes. That is amazing that you are in that spot right now in your life. And I just encourage people to do that, to be in your heart, to be in your heart. And you've taken a long journey to get to that point.
Yes.
And it's just amazing.
I wasn't here last year. And I'm here now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is amazing. So is there anything else new that you're doing that you'd like to tell us about? Did we cover all your creativity?
I think we did at the moment. Yes, I'm just doing that and being happy and enjoying the ride.
Yes.
Because it doesn't always go as planned.
Yeah. So what is your best advice for people on how to create an incredible life for themselves?
I was talking to a friend yesterday about how life is in phases and how there's these phases where you drift away and then these phases where you need to recenter. And those recentering phases, recentering with yourself and connecting back in with yourself and living this balanced life, I think it's super, at least yesterday, there's a key to that. Like there's so much you can do and produce and create, but if you don't recenter and give yourself that time to look within, discover, and how are you going to direct all your creation? So I would say people who want to create this life for themselves and live in their purpose, that priority is to build that relationship with yourself, recenter, listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, let it guide you. What is it telling you? Do you really want to do? What will make you fulfilled? Because what makes me happy doesn't make you happy, Kimberly. I mean, like, and then what makes you happy doesn't make your neighbor happy. Everyone has their own happiness. So when we recenter and listen to that intuition, it guides us and it allows us to move forward in stepping into creating our lives. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And I'm from a 20-year-old. Wisdom from the 20-year-old. Thank you so much. I have so enjoyed having you here on the podcast. Thank you for what you're putting out into the world, how you're encouraging, young women to look inside and figure out who they are and find their gifts, and putting out products that people can use. And then I'm, this exciting movie that's coming out very soon.
Very soon.
I just so appreciate you. And I know you are all over social media. So rather than go over all that, I'm just going to put your links at the bottom of the show notes. Okay. So people can find you and follow you. And I just want to tell you that you are loved, and I wish you the best on your journey as you continue it.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. And thank you so much for doing this, for creating this podcast where you get to listen to like all these different people creating their lives and their walks of life. And thank you. And I'm excited to see what you will produce. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I just love people, and like you, I'm very interested in people, very interested in finding out their stories. So this is the way that I do it.
It's awesome.
So, well, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, talk to you soon. Thank you for having me.
Yes.